Alright, Shalom. I'm gonna start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that told me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect that scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Payah, and there was an incident that had occurred over there in Washington, D.C., right, where it was two National Guards that was allegedly shot and killed. Alright. And that just happened right before Thanksgiving, you know. And so conveniently it happened not too far from the White House. So now you have Donald Trump talking about deploying an additional 500 more troops over there. And the guys that allegedly committed this, killing or murder, if you will, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They saying he's from Afghanistan. How coincidental is that, right? Things of that nature. But, and then he had a weird, his name. So, it's all for more surveillance, for more National Guard. These are PSYOPs. And that's what people don't understand, that these are PSYOPs. You got crisis actors, and then people are being distracted by, all this other stuff. Not understanding the problem, reaction, solution that's behind this. Just like when they blamed them, them people that went into, 9/11, the Twin Towers in 9/11. They ushered in what? The Patriot Act. So real quick, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. So, those who know, all right? And you got a lot of trial runs of, false events. You know what I'm saying? Crisis actors to have the masses believe it, so they could pass these bills and set up these new projects that they got going on for more of a surveillance society, and it's all to have a reason, to bring in more restrictions, like the scripture we just read, which says he sitteth in the lurking places, So like you could drive somewhere. Let me give you an example.
Y'all better buckle up, because this is not an episode of Black Mirror. This is real life. So if you guys haven't heard, Miami PD just released the very first AI self-driving police vehicle. Yeah, no humans behind it whatsoever. They're talking about it's to free up the police officers' time so they can tend to even more important matters. Translation, they're letting Skynet patrol the block while the real cops watch through the eyes of the AI robot at headquarters.
Miami police say this is the future of law enforcement.
This vehicle is going to give us touch points with the community that we have never had before.
If you look past the flashing lights and logos, it's clear this is no ordinary police cruiser. This prototype SUV was designed to launch a drone, read license plates, and send live infrared video back to HQ. All without needing a police officer behind the wheel. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office says this is the nation's first autonomous police vehicle. The South Florida Department is rolling out the experimental vehicle thanks to funding from the policing lab.
What we're ultimately trying to do is to give the sworn officers the capability to make the best decision out there.
For now, Miami-Dade will essentially take the vehicle on a PR junket, seeking community input before it regularly patrols neighborhoods. If and when that day arrives, designers say this vehicle will offer a lot.
They don't need to be focused on driving and looking for animals, children, pedestrians running out into the road. The vehicle's going to watch those vulnerable road users and let the officer look for crime.
The easy-to-operate tethered drone gives police a bird's-eye, up-close view, even in the shadows. The car can also patrol targeted areas, deterring bad actors without Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz needing to send actual deputies.
I would probably say that this vehicle will allow 5 to 10 deputies to go about other business that they might otherwise not be able to do.
Lab says
So there you go right there. And also, hey, with this whole grid, with this artificial intelligence grid, with the technology that's enhancing now, it's what can you do besides have faith in the Lord? You know? So Esau, these elites, they want to be everywhere all at once. Full control. You know? Order out of chaos. So they cause these little chaos incidents to occur. Right? And then they bring what? More law and order. To restrain people. To restrain situations. You know? And to bring down more of a police state, if you will. Because you even got cones that's on the highways, which are really cameras. You really got certain things like that. You know, it looks like water buckets, the yellow ones that be in the highway when you're driving down the I-95. That could be a fucking camera. So, don't be ignorant to Satan's devices, man. It's just, when you see these incidents, look at the Boston bombing. Look at, right, you gotta understand, all right, what's gonna come after? What's the bigger agenda, right? Because even during the time of Rome, during the time of, you know, Greece, where there was riots, they brought in more of Roman centurions, you know, to bring down more of a law and order. But this is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So that wrath that these elites are about to show is about to come down on people because time is short. You know? So with more quote unquote security or ICE or National Guards or that's around the United States, in every state, that can actually, you know what I'm saying, control these cities, these little, you know, cities in the states, then they could have a little false to the flizzag, you know, and bring down the grid for a new economy. In the midst of that, people's gonna go crazy, and that's why martial law, you know what I mean? So this is why you gotta filter these current events through the scriptures. There's a book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? So that's what? Why you can't go into another city? The scripture said we shall be even like as pilgrims, which is like under the grid, a traveler, right? But why can't you go into other city? Well, there's going to be border patrols, right? There's going to be more guards. You might not have the latest update of the digital ID, or however, which is resulting to that mark of the beast, pursuing the Revelation 13:16. You see? Hey. And we've been warning people about that. You know, I'm going to give another precept in Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. Right? The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So, You got to know who the enemy is. The scriptures say the earth is given into the hands of the enemy. You know? And there's been generations of a pattern of his wicked ways. These elites, these Esau, Edomites, so-called Caucasian, that the higher ups though, the banking families, you know? Right? That's ruling behind the scenes of this government. But why does it say when the enemy shall come in like a flood? Because, hey, they know they have but a short time, like we read. So they're going to come in like a flood with what? With their troops. And ultimately with their digital currency. You know? So, I just wanted to bring this out. You know? And who knows if they actually, passed away or whatever. Right? So, scripture tells you be not ignorant of anything small or great. But anyway, just keep an eye on this. And until next time, I'm gonna say shalom.